There's all police wire and everything outside his house.
He'd hit him more than 20 times with a hammer.
He stayed there with the body. He's comfortable being there with the body.
On Wednesday, 30th November 2016, Daniel Segui was running household errands as normal, dropping into the bank and picking up a takeaway dinner. Daniel arranges to meet up with Zoe, his girlfriend, the next day to go shopping.
And he said he'd come to mine for about 10 in the morning. He sent me a message saying he was on the way, and then just didn't turn up. I went to his house.
But on arrival, Zoe was shocked at what she found.
There's all police wire and everything outside his house. So I asked the police what had happened. They said they couldn't tell me. And then they said there'd been a body found.
What we now know is that when Jeff was preparing to go to bed, he was attacked by his son, Daniel, towards the end of the evening, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, something along those lines. It was a vicious and a savage killing. There were more than 60 stab wounds, and then he'd hit him more than 20 times with a hammer.
Following the murder, Daniel went and purchased a Chinese takeaway. Then he came and ate that back at the home, which one may think is quite odd, having just killed your father, and then one would almost expect the person to run away and escape the area very quickly.
Later that day, Daniel Segui goes about his business as usual, visiting the cash machine on the high street where he withdraws £100 from his father's account. And then to McDonald's, where he is caught on their CCTV cameras.
I find it strange that he stayed in the house with the body for 2 days, because so much anger in that killing, and he stays there. So at some level, he's thinking, I've done the right thing. I'm justified in what I did. He's not frightened of his own violence. He's not frightened of what he's done. He's stayed there with the body. He's comfortable being there with the body.
It's now that Daniel decides to flee the scene of crime. He goes on the run in his father's car. By this stage, his brother, having not seen his dad, Jeff, for 2 days, becomes suspicious, and he calls the police.
When they got there, they found Jeff's body on his bed, covered in a duvet.
Okay, so I was commissioned to chair an independent review into the circumstances surrounding the homicide. It's interesting that this particular case, there hadn't been any agency involvement, but nothing to indicate that the outcome would have been as horrific as it is, and certainly there was nothing to indicate that it was an abusive relationship. The initial suspicions have got to be that Daniel was involved. Daniel's not in the house, Jeff's there dead, there's no contact with Daniel, why wouldn't Daniel report it? You know, so Daniel has got to be a prime suspect from straight away.
With police in the house in Mackworth, Daniel Segui is 150 miles away in Cardiff, having driven off in his father's car. He heads to the train station.
He bought himself a ticket using cash to go to Glasgow, and he took a train to Glasgow from Cardiff.
It's at this point he decides to reach out to the one person he feels he can confide in, his girlfriend, Zoe.